Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching The Lost City, starring Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, and Brad Pitt. Now, if you've seen classic adventure films in the jungle, with films like Romancing the Stone and 6 Days, 7 Nights, it's definitely going to feel very familiar to you when it comes to this kind of film. But with a great cast chemistry, especially between Bullock and Tatum, some genuinely hilarious moments featuring the talented cast, and a throwback to classic adventure tropes of the 80s and 90s, there's certainly a lot to enjoy here, even if the script is only so-so in the process. Let's get to the story, shall we? The story revolves around Loretta Sage, played by Sandra Bullock, who's this romantic author who, despite having a talent with translating hieroglyphics, she ended up basically making a career out of making those pulpy romance novels that take place in jungles and features a hunky hero, who's in this case a man named Dash, whose real name is Alan, played by Channing Tatum, a cover model who tries to actually be the hero that he poses as, though he's not very bright when it comes down to it. But when Loretta Sage is captured by a man named Abigail, played by Daniel Radcliffe, he claims that he's going to try and find a treasure that she happens to write about, which is on an island in the Atlantic Ocean. So Channing Tatum has to work together with a trainer, played by Brad Pitt, Jack Trainer, in order to get to Sandra Bullock on the island and to save her, while also dealing with Radcliffe's goons. That's pretty much all I'll say about the story. It definitely does have similarities to Romancing the Stone and other films of its ilk, but but as you can probably tell, Channing Tatum is no Michael Douglas. So it feels like both the hero and the both the heroes of the male and female lead varieties end up feeling like fish out of water in this scenario, and they both have to help each other out when it comes to not only dealing with the thugs that are after them, but also in just surviving in the jungle with themselves. I do think the script does rear its ugly head when it comes to some of the comedic scenarios, which do seem kind of stock when it comes down to these adventure types. But considering that these kinds of films aren't made that much in Hollywood anymore, I know there are going to be some people who are going to see scenes like this for the first time, so I think they're done pretty well for what they are. Plus, Radcliffe, I think, was born to play a villain at some point after playing Harry Potter for so many years, and he really relishes the role. He's very entertaining in it. Plus, I do appreciate a subplot that has, uh, where basically uh, Sandra Bullock's character has this publicist who's trying to save her once she can't get help from the authorities. It's actually a pretty funny subplot that has some good punchlines to go along with it. But the focus is mainly on Bullock and Tatum and whether or not they'll end up falling for each other for real, when previously this was all just part of a story that Bullock's character was making. And yeah, Loretta Sage and Alan do make for a pretty interesting couple in that respect, considering you get to see their chemistry blossom, and you get to understand why they ended up as the people they ended up as, especially since neither of them ended up being the people they originally wanted to be, but they made the most with what the skills they had and the opportunities they were given. It's actually developed a bit more than I thought it would be. Plus, the directors of this film actually have never directed a major motion picture film of this type with this kind of A-list cast. And you'd never know it watching it, considering the action scenes are pretty well done, and there's some sweeping, beautiful shots of the island that the whole film is on. So it definitely feels like a throwback as much as it does feel like a film with modern day techniques. Not a classic by any means, but definitely enjoyable for what it is. I'll give The Lost City a 7 out of 10. See you next time.